In the West, the art of classical Greece and Rome in particular, and the different engagement people have had with that tradition over many centuries, still has an enormous impact on modern viewers, even if we do not always recognise it. Western assumptions about what a naturalistic representation of the human body is date back to a particular artistic revolution in Greece around the turn of the 6th and 5th centuries BCE. And many of our ways of talking about art continue the conversations of the classical world. The modern idea that the female nude implies the existence of a predatory male gaze was not first thought up, as is often imagined, in the feminism of the 1960s. As part one will explain, what is believed to be the very first life-size statue of a female nude in classical Greece, a 4th century BCE image of the goddess Aphrodite, provoked exactly the same kind of debate. And some of the earliest intellectuals that are known to us argued fiercely about the rights and wrongs of portraying gods in human form. One 6th century BCE Greek philosopher sharply observed that if horses and cattle could paint and sculpt, they would represent the gods just like themselves, as horses and cattle. Clarke's opening question, what is civilization? It's one of my own main questions too. The two parts of this book are based on two programmes I wrote for the new BBC series of Civilisations with an S, first broadcast in 2018. This was an attempt not to remake Clarke's original version, but to take a fresh look at its themes with a much wider frame of reference, moving outside Europe and back into prehistory. Clarke once or twice strayed across the Atlantic, but that was all. That is what the plural in the new title indicates. I'm even more concerned than Clarke with the discontents and debates around the idea of civilization, with how that rather fragile concept is justified and defended. One of its most powerful weapons has always been barbarity. We know that we are civilised by contrasting ourselves with those we deem to be uncivilised, with those who do not or cannot be trusted to share our values. Civilisation is a process of exclusion as well as inclusion. The boundary between us and them may be an internal one. For much of world history, the idea of a civilised woman has been a contradiction in terms. Or it may be an external one, as the word barbarian suggests. That was originally a derogatory and ethnocentric ancient Greek term for foreigners you could not understand because they spoke in an incomprehensible babble, ba 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 ba. The inconvenient truth, of course, is that so-called barbarians may be no more than those with a different view from ourselves of what it is to be civilised and of what matters in human culture. In the end, one person's barbarity is another person's civilisation. Wherever possible, I try to see things from the other side of the dividing line and to read civilisation against the grain. I shall be examining some images from the distant past with the same suspicious eyes that we usually keep for those in the modern world. It's important to remember that plenty of ancient Egyptian viewers or ancient Romans may have been just as cynical about the colossal statues of their rulers as we now are about the parade of images of modern autocrats. And I shall be thinking about those on the losing as well as the winning side in the historic conflicts over images, and over what should and should not be represented, or how. Those who destroy statues and paintings, whether in the name of religion or not, are regularly seen in the West as some of history's worst barbarian thugs, and we lament the works of art that, thanks to these iconoclasts, we have lost. But as we shall see, they have their own story to tell too, even their own artfulness. But let's begin in Mexico, with the very earliest art in this book.